Cool, but I think we should definitely get this ball rolling. I don't want to keep people too long. One thing we first want to say is thank you everyone who showed up here today. I know it's a Saturday. Some of y'all want to be out. Some of y'all want to be with your families. I'm running a freaking 15-year-old game. So that's why we got to say definitely big shouts out to everyone in the call. It's going to go a long way for us moving forward. And this is also an opportunity for us to say, anyone looking to step forward and be more involved with the project, this is probably the best time to find information on things you can be helpful with. Some of the points that we'll bring up, you might think to yourself, hey, I can bring this to the table or I can do this. Don't hesitate to get in contact with any of the council ranked members or anyone below that, as in officers or ex officio. We can give you the channels to provide support to the guild. Now, what is Medellin? Pronounced Medellin. It's really banking back to the days of the drug cartel and these, highly organized criminal organizations. They get the job done, make money, they have fun. That's what we're going to do. We want to be a dominant and controlling force on whatever server we roll on, which will be, for the record, Oceanic, if available, of course, and PvP. And there is rumors of non-Oceanic guilds launching, we'll probably end up going on an NA server, but that's going to be discussed closer to launch. It feels like Oceanic servers is confirmed, though, at this point in time.
Well, they confirmed the server, definitely.
Yeah, they've confirmed the server, yeah. Medellin is going to be a dominant force in PvP, PvE, and everything that goes through one person's hands to another. There's a huge priority within this guild that family is over everything. It's Medellin priority over everything. If you one of your brothers out there all by himself getting bullied, it's your priority to protect your brother, as you would in real life. That's what we expect from everyone in-game. Look at the people in the call right now, scroll up and down, remember their names. That's your blood, including everyone else that's not in the call, that joins the guild on day one. Continuing off that, another thing that Medellin is really going to push for is, if it's red, if you're walking through the in-game world, someone's name is red, what does that mean?
It's dead!
There we go, bro.
Exactly.
It's dead!
Gone.
And the idea behind that, it's not called griefing. We want to be respected through fear. If you want to make a name for yourself, there's some easy ways going about it and there's some hard ways. This is probably the easiest way about going through it, but we want people to know from day one, if they're level 20 and they see Zetu and he's got like 4 Infernals in, Grom Goal or wherever he is, we want Medellin, we want the name to be there. We want people to see that name and then we want to be feared through that. So any other time they see that name, they remember, oh, it's that guild that ganked me 12 times and I quit the server and came back 4 months later and then they're still there. Now that is a rough cap of some of the things we will discuss as the meeting goes forward. I'll expand on some of those ideas. But for now, I want to direct everyone towards an @post from one of the council members, and that will be for what we like to call the master. If someone wants to post it now, so everyone should have received a member notice. Open that document, relate yourself with it. What this is pretty much an outline, and a forewarning is it will be expanded on continually. What you see now isn't the end product. It's continuously going to be updated, worked, new ideas collaborated on it. But it should very well be your go-to source of information in regards to some of the things I've stated prior, and more things such as loot distribution, raid tactics, raid compositions, as phases continue, pre-mades, as we get to the point of the server, if we find out, and we'll discuss this later, like things like devil soul control and other sort of mafias we're going to build around certain items and certain resources, which we will continue later. You'll be able to see things on this such as a roster of who signed up, what they're intending to play, but a a big forewarning to that is you can look through the roster and you can say, look, we've got a million fucking warriors. Play what you feel comfortable with. I don't want anyone to play, oh, we don't have much of this, I suppose I'll play that. Compositions change dramatically as servers continue. We've all seen this before. Hey, even multi-class if you wanted, we'll talk about that later as well. Play what you feel comfortable with. Take that roster with a grain of salt. It's always going to be changing. Okay. You might have heard us say this is a phase 1 guild meeting. This is one of 4 guild meetings, official guild meetings. Of course, there's going to be unofficial guild meetings and all those sort of things. And these phases are dictated by major content updates as the server progresses. Things like BWO shifting to AQ, and things like when Nax opens. We need to have set points throughout the year where we all get together, we collaborate on the ideas, we expand the guild, and we really, go back and forth with one another and say, look, we're going to do this as this content opens up. We're going to do this as this happens. We're going to have pre-mades on day 1 of ranking. We're going to have groups formed to wipe groups heading towards Diamol. When Diamol opens, we want complete control over the Diamol east, west, north. We want no other horde groups going in there. We just want all our groups going in there with no worries. And we need to be prepared for that. So we're going to have phase meetings as this content unlocks. And now that moves on to where we are now. If you're in game, if you're on a 1.12 test server, this is big shouts out to guys like Nomad, Lotus, Hamish, put, a lot of hours combined into making the server what it is. And what the server is, it's a really good proving ground to get everyone up to scratch before the launch. It's a fantastic place to trial out new classes, new builds on green ping servers. Of course, this is available everywhere, but you're playing on literally freaking Russian test servers. That's not worry about. We're an Australian guild. We want an Australian server. New Zealand server, whatever, wherever it's hosted. But this server might not always be available, especially a couple of weeks after launch. It might come. It does cost our team real life money to hold this up, and it might not always prove useful. But we will definitely reopen the server and play around with it, heading towards content like specifically AQ, BWO. It should be open for as well. We'll pretty much be that clone your in-game character to our server, and we can do test runs. So day 1 BWO comes out. We've already run it 10 times as a guild on our test server. We walk in, clear it on day 1, no worries. Everyone goes to bed, go to work the next day kind of thing. Okay, and that brings us to launch day, which will be, August 21st, something like that?
27th. 27th.
That's right.
Yikes.
So day 1, we have lots of different plans how to effectively and efficiently assert our dominance within the first 30 minutes of the server being open. One of those major things is having your guild name there straight away. Within our council group, we've kind of worked out an easy peasy way to get the guild charter completed and filled out relatively quickly over the server launch. We haven't ran this strategy yet, but we're feeling about a good 15 to 20 minutes and everyone's going to be able to pile into the guild. However, to get everyone into the guild efficiently on day 1, we're going to have a custom chat channel. You can do this in-game now if you want. You type /join XII. And once you're in the private test channel, you can see everyone loading in. It's a good way to type, we'll announce on the guilds up, 1, 2, 3 to join the guild. We can go through the custom chat channel, pull everyone in. That way we're not going through 50 direct messages on Discord and trying to get everyone into the guilds with their custom names and things like that. Also, it's a good way to communicate with your fellow Medellin brothers. As soon as the server launches, small minor details that everyone needs to know about. Not everyone's going to be looking at Discord, say, hey, look, guys, I've noticed this. I'm on this type of phase at the moment. I have access to this. We should all think about doing this. If you need to give people that information before the guild's up, this is your channel to do so. I think it's a really coordinated effort as well. So as soon as you join the server, you're not by yourself. If you need help, that's the easiest way to do it. But we intend to have the guild up very quickly from the server's launch. If you're interested, we're doing something like we're creating a lot of mages and selling their gear, channeling the money from the mages gear to one person to run the charter. That kind of idea. Okay. Boosts. This is still continuing on from day one plans. I know there's people in the call, and if you know anyone outside of the call that's interested in this, we're going to try work together a very efficient way to boost people who intend on participating in the server first 60. We want people on day one to type /who35 and they see, 4 people's names, 2 of their names have Medellin attached to it. We also want people to feel that sense of, success when they do get that for server first 60. We're not dealing with Europeans that have a ping advantage over us. We have a lot of really skilled people in our roster. If you know some of the names, you know that we have the potential to really be a top guild, which is probably why we're all here. But if you feel like you're one of those people that needs a boost, and there's certain ways we'll go about doing this, make this known in the Adventurers channel on the Discord. Say, hey, look, I've got 2 weeks off work. I'm going to get one of the server first 60s. Let it be known. We'll get your name down. If you want to be one of those people that wants to help boost, let that be known as well. Say, look, you're not that dead set on being the first level 60, but you want to help your brothers get there. Let that be known. And let it also be recognized that if you're helping people boost, your efforts will not go unmerited. You won't go unrewarded for that kind of thing. It will be remembered, especially if you're very efficient about it. If we can get collaborated information about how you intend to be boost, like raid tagging or resource funneling, if there's a way we can organize that now, it's going to go a long way for ourselves and for the people wanting to be boosted as well. But yeah, definitely keep an eye on the Google Sheet with a boosting page should eventually be posted. And that way you're going to kind of be able to view the information that we're providing and think to yourself, do I want to be a part of this? Do I want to boost? Okay. Moving forward from day one plans, achieving server dominance phase 1. You're probably going to hear the same thing said 4 months during our phase 2 meeting about furthermore cementing server dominance. First things first, one of the biggest early game objectives for any competitive guild, PvE and PvE, is locking down the title charm. Who knows what the title charm is?
I hope everybody knows what it is.
Yeah, I hope everyone knows what this item is. Can somebody please post title charm classic DB link in the lobby for anyone that doesn't know what it is, so they can have a read through from the information of what this item does and why it's so important to the guild. So, a lot of clout comes with this item. If you have a title charm, you're in a clique that has organized efficiently how to get this item. And there's going to be competition for it. I've done my own scouting. Competition doesn't look as good as ours. I'm very confident we're going to be able to lock it down. More information on an organized effort to acquiring the title charm is going to come up within day 2 of the server's launch, when people are around that level 30, 32. It's a very important item because that stun is priceless for world PvP. It's priceless for raid wiping. It's priceless for the guild as well. If you have a title charm and you have Medellin next to your name, people know not to fuck with you. People know not to fuck with us. It's going to be kind of, I've only theorized this at the moment, but I'm thinking a round robin lockdown system with the spawn window of Prince Nazjack, I think that's how you pronounce it, being highly confidential to the 3 people next in line to get the charm, and those 3 people need to be present for the. Doesn't matter what level you are, because remember, it's not 100% drop rate. So we could go 5 to 6 prince kills before we see the charm drop. Doesn't matter. Those first 3 people, so let's say we got Zetu, Pronkers, and Smog. Their names are at the top of the list. They are the only people that will know when the prince spawns, when his spawn window starts. They should really be the only people camping it. However, if you want to remain on that list of people, you should have some presence in the camping process and protecting people trying to get the kill. And of course, they will receive it 1, 2, 3. As soon as Zetu receives his, Pronkers is next in line. The 4th person gets pushed forward, and they are in that 3rd position. They get access to when they know the spawn window. This is an extremely confidential undertaking. We don't want the spawn window being leaked. So I feel like it should be really vetted. Players should know the information first. People that we know on a trusted basis, people we've played with, should be pushing to get themselves ahead in level, get to the spawn, kill the prince, and retain that information within the click, looking to obtain the title charm. We will eventually be opening some form of channel to register interest to acquire the charm. However, at the moment, I know there is a handful of people that have strategies to get the charm early. Just rest assured, if you're looking in acquire, we will have the channels for you to go through and get it. Okay, next point. This is more post-launch. We're looking towards the 7th or 8th day of the server launch, where we're looking at getting Uber's key. Now, what is the importance of having multiple keys within the...
Multiple people can open the door.
Yeah, when people are offline, it's more likely you got a free key.
Exactly. Uber's is a very important instance that we need to have very easy access to. And acquiring the key isn't an easy task, but there's easy ways about going about it if we're efficient. Keys within the guild means we can sell the keys as well. If we offer a key service, we want Medellin's name attached to that. Medellin key service. Contact us on Discord. We'll have a key for you. That one-stop shop. They jump on our Discord. They know these guys have their shit together. Hey, look, I'll buy a key service whenever. They could run 10 Ubers. We'll have 10 keys for them. Doesn't matter, because we'll have that many keys within the guild. It's not an issue. And hey, look, everyone here likes getting paid, right? Like, what's the trouble of, oh, just summon me, you know? Like, we'll do your key, just make sure you have summons. Or if you want to get your money, and hell, go get your money, just go to the instance, open the key for them, get your money, get out of there. 10 silver each, you've made 1 gold in freaking 10 minutes or whatever. If we have that many keys, why not charge them more? If they have access to keys 24/7 and there's no fuss about it, why can't we charge 15 silver per person? 30, doesn't matter. If we have the keys, we can dictate the market. Now, to receive the keys early, if you don't know much about it, to acquire the key is done through lower Black Rock Spire, through killing certain bosses. You can do that prior to level 60. And I don't see enough people doing this, but I've done it in the past. You can efficiently clear LBRS with a group of 5 level 55s if you know what the fuck you're doing. If you know how to make the pools, you can start farming your pre-bis, get experience, finish quests, get your keys from 55 to 60 if you know what you're doing. Now, if you don't know what you're doing, or you don't have people to do this with, or you know this information and you want to get involved and you want to get that key, and you want a bunch of people that are around level 55 to 60, post in the Adventurers channel. Say, hey, look, dudes, let's get some Elber's keys. Who's down to ride? Who's going to be around that level range by day 5, by day 6? Jump on our Telstrom, make a character, build shit gear, start practicing pulls and Elbers. Trust me, it's going to pay off. It's not the easiest dungeon, but if you know what to pull when and with what group compositions, you're not only going to make a lot of money from the BOEs that drop there, you're not only going to effectively level from 55 to 60 grinding pre-bis, but you're going to get yourself a key. Super important.
Now what?
Post Ubers. we're definitely going to be looking at getting server first MC. I'm not going to call out a Grizzly play here and say, oh yeah, guaranteed server first, and then you get outplayed by a bunch of Euros. We're not Grizzly level players. However, we have a collaboration with another guild, Primal. You might have seen them on our test run. They've been practicing Molten Core with their core of players, which, no offense, if you're in Primal and you're in this core, kind of autistic to be practicing Molten Core in 2019. But hey, whatever, get your money. We need them. We need their leadership and their efficiency. Just like how we're being efficient, they need our skill. There's a lot of really good players in here. There's a lot of really fast leveling players in here. And we're going to be able to bring that to the table. We're also going to be able to bring our Dousers to the table. Now, think to yourself, have you ever received a Douse in game? I think it's almost going to be mandatory on your first Molten Core to have the rep gate for at least a single Douse. A Douse, if you're not too familiar with it, is a mechanic required to kill Ragnaros, and if not enough people do it, it's quite a hassle to manage Douse, to manage the single Douse. It's kind of hard to explain, but get your Douse. Easiest way to get a Douse. If you're not in an Elbers 55 to 60 group, you should be in a Douse 55 to 60 group. There is a rep gate to acquire the Douses, and there's very little ways of getting that rep without being a Molten Core. One of the ways to get the rep outside of Molten Core is killing the elementals in Silithus. I believe it's the air elementals or something like that, the wind elementals. If you go around and farm them, they give you the rep to acquire the Douses. Now, Silithus is also a hotspot for Rich Thorium, strong titanium chests, strong lockbox chests, whatever they're called, the ones that drop blues and epics, and other guilds attempting to get Douses. If we have presence in Douse farming areas, not only are we going to be controlling resources, not only are we going to be getting our Douse, we're going to be killing Horde trying to get their Douses. And they're going to know, oh, fuck, it's those Medellin guys. They ganked me all the way through fucking Badlands, you know? And now they're here again already.
And we
need to be those people.
We can definitely lock them areas down too quite easily. Like if you just want to get together as a group while leveling.
Exactly. So if you're heading towards that 55 to 60 end leveling gap, make your intentions known. Do you want to start farming Elbers? Do you want to start potentially pushing for pre-BIS, which is relatively low priority? I mean, a lot of us in here have carried people in questing greens through Molten Core. It's not hard. Pre-BIS is very strong though. However, think about macro efficiency. Think about getting those Douses. Think about getting those keys. Make your intentions known. And hey, look, your rewards will not go unmerited. If you have a Douse on day one, you can expect a Mage Blade. It's as easy as that. I'll give someone who's farmed macro efficiency a strong item over someone who's just pulled in out of their greens to get carried, but has a really good name or whatever. Okay. However, there will be, not only in the server first Molten Core, but lots of raids moving forward. Success through failure. It does happen. Wipes do happen. We all know this. People always fuck up. It's a 40-man raid. It happens. We need to be able to take an L. We need to be able to take it efficiently, chill, having a yarn with the boys. I mean, I'm sure everyone's been a part of those super toxic guilds that get mad tilted when they have 3 or 4 wipes, and it's like, look, guys, no banter, none of that. You know, stop having a laugh. No, fuck that. They're all shit players that don't understand how to play well and have banter at the same time. We're not going to be like those guys. We're going to be Chad alpha gamers that clear content, that have fun while doing it. What's so hard about that? So, a lot of people want to push the meme of being Chad IRL, being Chad in-game. If we wipe, 50 push-ups. Before we pull the first pack, 50 push-ups.
50.
I don't know.
100, dude.
We'll see how it goes. Maybe 50
realistically, probably like 10, 20, bro.
50 push-ups, 10, 20.
I'll have a
We'll
heart
talk
attack
about it
if
when
I
it
try to do
happens.
50 push-up.
It's very much a meme, but who knows? If it becomes an ethos of the guild, an ethos, then so be it. It might produce stronger raiders, more clued on raiders. If you wipe, you want to be more mentally aware. A bit of physical exercise might get you there, which is something we're going to talk about later as well.
Yeah, it keeps you awake.
Exactly. And I know for like more NZ players,
Richie,
you
do you know I
later
always
than
used to
people
say
like
you
me
need
on
to
the West
have
Coast.
an agile body to have an agile mind.
Yes. Okay. Moving forward to a very important topic people should pay a lot of attention to. Devil Soul Mafia. A term everyone loves, but no one really knows a lot about unless you've been a part of it. Now, a huge forewarning to this is we're not completely sure the effects that layering could have on this concept. Currently in the beta, if you're a part of it, layering has kind of fucked around with everything a little bit. It's kind of putting people in their own little spawn worlds. When Devil Soul Mafia is, if you're not too familiar with it, it's the concept of killing a certain dinosaur in a certain part of the map that drops a certain leather that can be crafted into pre-bis for warriors and rogues. Warriors and rogues being the most heavily dense classes in the game. So controlling their one source of pre-bis results into thousands of gold capped accounts, and very importantly, clout. If your name is in the crater, you have clout. People will respect that. So take everything moving forward in this small little snippet about Devil Soul Mafia with a grain of salt. We're not really sure how this is going to play out, but hey, let's have a plan A rather than on the day trying to throw shit around, you know? So I've recognized within the guild, there is lots of people interested in having gold capped accounts. There's lots of people interested in making the game easier for themselves. But to make the game easier for yourself, and having all this gold, you got to put in the work. You got to put in the effort. The commitment needs to be. Now, for the Mafia to achieve its results, we need rostering. We need to know who's available. We need to know who can control spawns at certain times. And we need to know who can advertise, secure trades, and secure options at certain times. You can't just start skinning the dinosaurs, right? It's not like that, boys. You can't just skin the dinosaurs and think, oh, I've got all the money now. You need to be able to effectively sell the leather as well. You need people who can say, look, I'm available to do 5 p.m. till 9 p.m., putting up auctions, making trades, while other people are available 5 till 9 p.m. in the crater, killing dinosaurs, securing spawns. We need people within the Mafia to take arms, notify members. We need your presence in protecting the crater against non-Mafia groups is absolutely mandatory in securing your position within the Mafia and for higher ranks within the guild. If you're looking to progress yourself, you need to help others progress themselves. If the lads are having trouble in the crater with either an alliance guild, which we'll talk about, or a horde guild, you need to be there. You need to be killing red names. We need scouts in all sorts of locations, scouting all sorts of names. If you see EJ at like 7 p.m. by himself on a rock, you know what he's planning. He wants to get his boys there. We'll get our boys there. It's as easy as that. We need participation and we need people to take arms. And that extends to non-dinosaur hunting activities. Very family friendly. If you're not all hardcore about skinning dinosaurs, there's more activities in the crater that you can help out with. There's a place directly in the middle of it. If you open your maps in-game now, called Fireplume Ridge. Fireplume is a hotspot for rich thorium. It's a hotspot for elemental fire that we're going to talk about in a little bit. And it's also a hotspot for horde. There's a lot of horde quests there. There's that huge quest chain to get the freaking offhand. The spellcaster offhand. I think the quest chain ends there. If your presence is at the volcano, not only are you going to be scouting horde, looking to take dinosaur kills, you can farm rich thorium, you can farm gold, You can farm Cloud as well. If you're stopping people from doing their quests and Medellin is there, it's very much going to dictate our presence on the server. Now, the Devil Saw Mafia is very much a cross-faction collusion undertaking. You need to be aware of that, which is in the TNC not allowed in the game. But hey, look, we might just have to break a couple rules. You know what I'm saying?
Who are we gonna collude with?
Well said, WGP. That will be dictated as the server progresses. I'm already in collusion with a couple big names out there. People are always extending olive branches to us, looking to get involved because they know how dominant we're going to be already, and people are scared of that and they want our protection. I feel like those relationships will be dictated as the server progresses. I don't want to shake any hands now. I'd rather the hands be shaken as people get up there. We don't know who's going to be good. We don't know who's going to be bad, kind of thing. So that being said, information within the Mafia is going to be strictly confidential. It's going to come with its own private Discord server, very much cross collusion, and a lot of information about it will have to remain within it. It's very much just a point, the Devil Saw Mafia, that I want to touch on. I know a lot of people are interested in it, and we will be there, and we will be making gold. If you want to make that gold, contact the right people. Now, moving forward to a very fun topic, GVG. There's PvE, there's PvP, there's GVG. Not a lot of people talk about it. There's Guild v Guild within WoW Classic. We've always had that enemy horde guild that we've hated, that we've always wanted to, we'll wipe them out as soon as we know that they're raiding. That's what GVG is. It's very much a major factor that we need to take into consideration to establish a name for ourselves. We need to say, hey, look, it's old mates. We know they're going to be raiding from this hour to this hour. Let's be there. Let's wipe them. Let's do everything we can to wipe them. Let's pull out our title charms. Let's pull out our sap. Anything we can do to remind people who the fuck we are. Now, this extends forward to an idea we've kind of been playing around with. We're calling it at the moment M19. M19, if you know what it was a guerrilla faction during the Medellin era that was very much like militaristic, staged coups, assassinations, not so much, kidnappings, that kind of thing. We want the M19 tag to be within the guild, perhaps an in-game rank, but it's definitely going to be an in-Discord rank. People with the M19 rank, very much confidential, a lot of information being handed around, a lot of scouting, a lot of use of espionage to find out what other guilds are doing, what they plan on doing. Do they want to wipe us? Are they going to be raiding at this time? Are we going to wipe them? The idea of M19, the leadership believes, is going to help people against raid logging, something we will discuss later. If there's more aspects to take your gameplay to another level, let's get our fingers in it. But most importantly, let's get our name on it. We want guilds to be scared to go raid. We want them to be scared to buff up, only a fear of all our mage alts coming out with sappers and title charms and wiping their raid, putting hours down the drain. Hey, look, I don't want to say we want to force guilds off the server, because that's toxic. We definitely want guilds to be scared of us, though, that's for sure.
Reference Buffwatch.
Yeah, Pronkers, post a Buffwatch video in the lobby. Everyone take a look at it. This is the kind of idea we can work towards. M19 will definitely not go unmerited as well. Your participation in gathering information about enemy guilds, collaborating with your fellow M19 members, and executing on intended plans will reward you in-game, specifically within PvE. PvP weapons will be leaning towards people participating in M19 or ranking. More than likely, rankers will be within M19 because that's also a very good source of honor. And hey, look, there's also potential for guilds to request our protection services. If guilds are so scared of us, why can't they hire us, or why can't they pay for us to not wipe them? If we threaten people, hey, look, we already know when you're ready, pay us, otherwise we're just gonna wipe you, or just don't bother getting well buffs and have a slow ass raid. There should be more information on M19 and what it stands for and the right people to talk to get involved within the master book that everyone's been. Does anyone at this point have any questions?
We're going to be putting materials away for AQ.
Fantastic, you've said that. Moving on to our next topic, economic control. And within economic control, there is a section discussing hoarding, which will answer your question shortly. Economic control is very much a continuation of the ideas we've discussed previously. There's lots of different ways to control PvE and PvP we've discussed. Controlling what gets changed from one hand to another is very important for an MMORPG. There's a reason why auction house exists, because there's a demand for an economy, for a market to develop and progress. And with certain points of a server's life spike interests in certain items. So that being said, to answer your question, during times like coming up to AQ, certain mats are required. If we have thousands of those items, we can control the market for it. We could also use our gold we've acquired from the Devil Soul Mafia to purchase out anyone trying to compete with us.
Yeah, stock silver blades, nature resist gear, stuff like that before AQ.
A master book page will be created. It's already there. You can click on it. It isn't filled up with information at the moment because it's going to be very much dictated by phase 1 to phase 4 moving forward. But specifically, phase 1 item control. Now, this is very much a point where we will have a channel open shortly. So for people wishing to express interest on acquiring these items, a min-max route to acquire them and why they should, it will be open. Those items will include things like Devil Soul Leather, Elemental Fire, which I've discussed previously, certain flask mats. They're more leaning towards the late game, but early game, there's also a lot of opportunity opens up to make money. Things like Major Healing Potion Recipe. It's an item acquired in Everlook. We need an account there with the gold that can purchase the recipe on cooldown. If you have 10 recipes and no one else can buy it, how much can you sell it for? As much as you fucking want. It doesn't matter. You control it. We need someone that has an efficient route to acquire mats for the bronze tube. What's the bronze tube used for?
Whacking cunts on the head.
It's used for 2 quests. It's a quest that provides, I think it's like a 5k experience drop in Duskwood. It's also used for, it's very essential experience, as Nomad's just said. Yeah, if you play a dwarf of a human, you need the bronze tube. It's also used for the rogue poison quest, I believe, which is pretty fucking useful as well. If we have people that can theory craft an efficient way to boost engineering early in the server, I'm talking day 1, this needs to be performed, and there is people to help boost the mats, why can't we control the bronze tubes? Why can't we sell them for 50 silver a pop? Now, a discussion we had earlier is there is a very micro efficiency to this. You will make a bit of penny. However, the macro efficiency is Medellin's name is there. Medellin on day 1 is selling bronze tubes. Because we have the people there that have already worked out a route to efficiently make bronze tubes. If you want to do this for the money, that's fine. Do it for the money. If you want to do it for the clout of the guild, I very much implore that. Another very important recipe is frost oil recipe. Can someone remind me why that's important? I have no idea.
It's the quest in
Badlands.
Badlands, yeah.
That's right, yeah. You need it for the trinket, right? Yeah. Nifty stuff. Alright. The frost oil recipe is in Alteric Valley. I think it's a vendor that spawns or something like that. If we can control the production of frost oil, which some people would regard as a very essential quest, why can't we? We need someone that's willing to theory craft the best way to move an alt to that vendor, to acquire gold on that alt. If not, people just giving people giving this alt gold to buy the recipe and start producing frost oil. Produce it at 1 gold a pop. Why not? If you can do it as an efficient group of 2 people, hey, if you're in this call by yourself, but you have a friend that's intending to play, message your friend, say, hey, look, let's make frost oil. Let's do this. Tell us, however, we'll get the information on the spreadsheet. People can collaborate with you, and we can keep frost oil for the guild, and we can get frost oil out there for the masses with Medellin's name attached to it. We can have people advertising in blasted lands. Medellin frost oil service. Message us. We will COD you frost oil at this cost. No worries. Why not? Low priority item hoarding. Very much an important aspect. I usually utilize in most servers I play on is having an alt that can hoard a lot of mats that spike interest during certain stages of the server's life. Let's think items like mats that only become unlocked later in the server's life. So like the mats for perfect example, when ranking comes up, the week everyone acquires rank 8, they get their braces, everyone needs braces enchants. If you have an enchanting surface that's doing braces enchants a bit cheaper than everyone else and you have the mats for it, you're going to make thousands of gold. It's as easy as that. You need to be able to recognize at certain points in the server's life when certain items are going to be important. Of course, this will be a part of the master book where people can view and collaborate ideas when certain items are going to go up and down and everyone else looking to get involved. It's a one click away to think to yourself, hey, look, if I start hoarding this now, I'm going to make a bit of penny out of it. Moving forward, ideas in the future. Medellin will very much be a driving force within the PvP community. Within this call alone, and other people not in the call, we have multi-server proven PvP veterans. A lot of people in this call making rank 10 plus multiple times. We have the knowledge there, and we will strive to set brackets and demonstrate our prowess on the battlefield often. If people weren't already reminded how strong we are outside of structured PvP, they know how strong we are on Blackrock Mountain. They should be scared to queue into us, and I want Alliance PvP spies to be in every major Battle Master. I want people not to queue into us. I want to queue into freaking terrible Chinese guilds that don't know what they're doing. I want people to dodge us, because that's how strong we are. However, structured PvP is some time away. So, we will have a huge focus on world PvP. Now, world PvP very much linked to the M19 idea we've talked about earlier. And there's certain things people that aren't even too hardcore about PvP should take into account. Let's say you've just hit 60, you're looking to run Scholarmans with the fellas, you need a healer. Healer's going to be online in 15 minutes. What should you do? You got 2 options. AFK on Ironforge Bridge, or option 2, roam the area of the dungeon and stop horde guilds from doing that dungeon. I think this is very much an idea everyone should pay a lot of attention to. Rather than AFKing, go to the dungeon, kill everyone around the dungeon, make sure our name's there, make sure you've secured entry for your fellow guildies looking to clear this content. Make the game easy and more fun for yourself, that's what we're trying to say. What should I say from here? So phase 2, when structured PvP comes out, that means battlegrounds and the ranking system. As I mentioned before, we really want to be a controlling force on the PvP scene. You might already be able to see within the master book, there's a PvP pre-made spreadsheet. There's also a private spreadsheet with potential brackets we can set, and being actively ready when this launches will put you into the best pre-mades possible and will get you to the rank that you acquire at the most efficient rate. Hey, look, it's not the easiest job, but we're not going to make it any harder for you. If you want to get that rank, we're going to get it for you. Be ready. Make your intentions known early so we can gear you up correctly before this launches. And before you know it, you're going to have your rank 11 mounts. Before you know it, you're going to have your Field Marshal sword. We'll get you there. It might not be specifically just Medellin pre-made. There's lots of good Alliance PvP guilds. Not as good as us, but not everyone will have the same commitment hours. But we want to be the name people have to go to get their rank. We also want to be the name that people are scared of when they queue into us.
Just quickly, are we planning to do rank 14 grind?
It's a very broad term. Lots of people do want to do it. Lots of people don't. Lots of people only want certain rank.
It all depends on how many prims are actually running and what the brackets get set at and how long people can spend daily farming.
Exactly.
It's too hard to call it.
Exactly. There's a huge if attached to acquiring certain ranks. I already know within the guild there's about 15 people that have told me, oh, look, I'm looking to get rank 13 onwards. We're going to be able to get that. What's going on in the server? That's crazy. There's a huge murloc. But we have not only the infrastructure already to get you that spot, we also have the proven experience to get you that spot. There's a lot of people in the guild right now that have hit rank 10 plus multiple times. There's no reason why we can't do it again. It's not the hardest thing to do. It takes a lot of time. It's also a lot of fun. If you haven't done it before, considering getting up there in ranks, even if you need to get boosted from corporal to knight captain for the 3-piece, we'll get you your 3-piece. There's certain points in the game when the 3-piece is very efficient. We'll get you that. It's not hard.
Sweet.
Okay. Next point, and we're not too far away from the finish, guys. Thank you for your commitment so far. Classic is a long journey. It's a very important note. Everything should be taken in a certain amount of moderation. Hey, I implore everyone to take a week off work like I have and smash out those levels as quick as you can and get your gear as quick as you can. But I myself and a lot of people don't like the idea of raid logging. And it's because raid logging has stemmed from this idea that at a certain point in the game, there's fucking nothing to do. It's not true. There's so many different aspects to the game. And our leadership team will strive to prevent that. If we're not trying to get people involved with M19's master plan to wipe 4 guilds at once, it's going to be the leadership trying to get you involved with a certain goal of the week, or getting you involved to come down to the crater and gank people in world PvP, or prepping for speedruns. Hey, it's very much an idea a lot of people like. A lot of people want to have the fastest molten core times. Why can't we go above and beyond to achieve those things? And raid logging very much says that you don't like playing with anyone in the guild outside of raids, which is just, if you're that type of person, this isn't a guild for you. We want to have brothers in this guild. We don't want to have people that you get upset with when they make certain calls in raids, which, hey, is going to happen, but we're going to do everything to prevent it. There's lots of different aspects to Classic, and we want to have our name all over them, a point I've stressed multiple times in this meeting. So here's another idea to avoid raid logging. Multi-classing. Multi-classing is not for everyone, but it definitely leads to more diversity within the guild and for your account. The ability to interchange roles, like providing your guild members with more opportunities to succeed within 5-mans or raids, or be able to effectively assist with dispatching enemy guilds. I'm specifically referring to, say, having a mage ult or having a warlock summoning ult goes so far, guys. It's not only benefiting yourself in terms of gold farming, say if you have a mage ult, but it benefits yourself in terms of acquiring really solid, enjoyable hours of gameplay. If you can get off your warrior and play a mage, it's so relieving, and you'll thank yourself for doing the grind. And the grind isn't as hard as the second time because you're going to have a gold capped account. I'm sitting in the crater. You're going to have best in slot when your character's like level 55, and your boy's going to say, you're going to say to your boys, oh, can you run me Ubers at level 55? We'll run you Ubers at level 55. We'll get you a Molten Core at level 55. If this is for your mage ult, which has 300 engineering, that's ready to wipe enemy raids, we'll get you there. If it makes you play more, makes you avoid logging out and dogging the boys, we'll get you there. And if you prepare this ult in the early game period, when there's not much content going on, remember there's no structured PvP, there's only Molten Core, there's no even freaking Diamol, why not do it? Why not have two level 60s? It's not the hardest thing to do. This directs me towards some notes that a player in the guild Fez has. These things, a lot of you might give it the old yikes, you know, but take it kind of seriously because these things do add up. Definitely beware of burnout as Classic approaches. I know a lot of people like doing these like 1 to 30 speed routes and stuff like that. Don't burn yourself out. Take a break every so often, step away from the game, play something else, get ready. It's going to be a long haul. We don't want to lose players. Roster retention is an issue many guilds have. We're doing our best to avoid that. There's certain things we will do, but it really depends on yourself. Staying on the ball, play when you need to play. Don't play when you don't need to play. If you want to go out on a Saturday night, definitely do it, guys. Another thing, don't pay any attention to what other guilds say about us. Perfect example, Grizzly. If you know what Grizzly are, or who they were, very strong guild once upon a time. They allowed the clout to get to them, everyone bagging them, they fall apart. We won't have that happen to us. If people want to talk shit about Medellin, let them talk shit. We'll definitely gank them. They definitely will quit the game if they keep on talking shit. Don't let it get to us. Don't reply in world chat to saying, oh, Medellin, already in the crater, what a bunch of nerds. Oh, Medellin, report these guys over griefing. Don't reply. Don't respond. What happens in Medellin stays in Medellin. Pay no mind. A very good nerd chill moment Fez has written here. When the snows fall and the white winds blow, the lone wolf dies, but the pack survives. Don't forget you have brothers here that will protect you over everything. Sleep is 99% of your in-game performance as well as your IRL performance. I know things are going to be really tricky with sleep as the server launches, and I know there's already a lot of people committing to doing like freaking 15-hour runs. That's great, but when you get to level 60, stop, chill, reassess, make efficient plans moving forward. Don't instantly jump into doing Uber's LBRS. As soon as you hit 60, I guarantee you're already ahead of the curve. Take everything in moderation. Sleep will help you out, trust me, and it will prevent burnout. Okay, new content releases. I'm kind of skimming through these points here Fez has made. We will outline them somewhere. They're all very important. They're all very well written. Medellin has the capacity to be a part of the top-end raiding guilds worldwide. Even though Oceanic is definitely a handicap compared to the other places, we have the infrastructure there, and we have the commitment from the guild members. If we have players that are constantly ready to take their gameplay to the next level during certain stages of content release, we're gonna be there, guys. However, don't try your best to not get halfway through the freaking 3 months of Molten Core we have to do and realize this game isn't for you. There's a lot to class. That 3 months of Molten Core is very testing for a lot of players, especially after they've potentially burnt themselves out from 1 to 60. Remember, it's a long journey, and you're always progressing your character towards the end goal. Don't let your character down by burning out. Don't let your character down by forgetting how much is in the game and how much your guild members can bring. Now, this is a very important note as well that concludes Fez's notes and then moves on to our conclusion. You probably played this game for a long time and you'll recognize that your in-game behavior is very reflective to your IRL behavior. If your life's a mess in real life, or becomes a mess because of WoW, your in-game performance is very much going to be affected. This is affected in certain ways, such as not attending raids, performing shit in raids, getting tilted at your teammates, letting your teammates down by not helping them out at Blackrock Mountain when they've just got swarmed by like 3 guilds. It should be your top priority to avoid this. Keep a level head outside of game, and your head in-game is going to be all that much better. Moving forward to our conclusion, thank you so much for showing up to the Phase 1 Guild meeting. Thank you to everyone with their commitment to developing this project. Lots of people have reached out to the leadership team within Medellin saying, hey, look, I want to do this. I want to do this. We implore you to continue that. If any of the information you've heard today, I mean, we've been here almost an hour, has kind of ticked a box for you and you've thought to yourself, hey, look, I want to do this or I want to do this, give us a buzz. We have the channels to make your life easier to help us. We're always looking to expand as well, guys. Our leadership team is quite small. It's different to a regular guild. We don't have a guild leader. We will be rotating the guild leader actual name within the guild. So every so many weeks, you might see this person's the guild leader, this person's the guild leader. It's just to take away from the fact there's never going to be one single dictating point of power. There's never going to be one person with the weight of the world on their shoulders. It's a team effort, and we need more people in that team. If you believe you're the type of person that can step up, hey, look, even if it's for the time being, if you're not sure your commitment later down the server's life, we want to get you through the doors now and want you helping us now. We have a lot of jobs to get through, like a lot. We have a huge bucket list of things that need to get done to make everyone's life easier come launch. We'd love to get you guys involved. Don't be afraid to contact either myself or anyone else in the council team, and we'll get you up there. Everyone keep your eyes peeled for more announcements as we come close to launch. It might be a single ping on the member page saying, hey guys, look, we've updated this part of the guild. Take a look at it. It might include things like certain strategies we're running in relation to things we've discussed prior, boosts or certain item mafias, all that kind of things. But apart from that, guys, look, honestly, that's everything closed up. That's all the points we've had to make so far. And we want to open the floor up to a Q&A session. However, it's not mandatory that you stick around now, guys. If you want to go down, see the boys at the pub, if you've got questions, stick around, ask us. There's other guys here that, including myself, that want to answer those questions.
After Q&A, we'll do a battleground as well.
Just a heads up, I dropped this into lobby the other day. Pretty much there's a deal going on with Blizzard at the moment where if you sub up to 6 months, you get 1 month free. So if you're looking to sub a month early, then name reservation or anything like that, or the upcoming stress test, then it might be worth looking into this deal. I'll post another picture of it in the lobby channel.
Yeah, you save like $10, 10, 15 for sure.
Any questions? Don't be shy.
Don't be shy, guys. Even if it's a simple PM myself or any of the other council members.
Any LAN parties going?
You can remain anonymous if you need to.
Yeah, Frodo?
I did see a point here from...
Doing your spreadsheets?
Say again, boss?
I said, who is doing your spreadsheets?
Oh, hi, Nico.
Right now it's been Riff, me, and Lotus, all 3 of us, just working on this one spreadsheet. We don't really have a set person to do.
So, any reason that you've been stealing my spreadsheets for your spreadsheet?
They came from another guild, didn't they?
Oh, it's open source, brother. If you've given people access to edit the document, you've technically signed all rights, you know.
Oh, is that how it works? Okay.
We can give a shout out to you if that's what you want. Which part specifically
No,
was
I'm
yours?
just curious.
I had a
Just looking at the
question about
spreadsheet that you've linked, and it's like all my stuff. So.
In regards to ults, I was wondering what our plan of attack is with world bosses. Like, are we parking locks out there to summon the raid in when they spawn, and we can have locks like pre-raid ready to apply soul stones to boss fights and that?
Yeah, I mean, it was mentioned briefly about multi-classing, but I have seen guilds in the past say, hey, look, everyone needs a level 20 lock ult. It's not hard to level a lock to level. It is a chore, though. I know it's not for everybody. I'm more than sure a lot of the people in the leadership will be doing that. We will have locks at certain parts of the map that we find most efficient to summon people into. But world bosses are quite a while away. Heading towards the first spawns, though, there will be expanded upon information that everyone's going to be able to click on at a moment's notice and say, hey, look, we're going to be doing this at a certain time. I should be logged out, maybe potentially even buffed, with a strong idea of how the boss fights operate. But then again, I don't want to stress people with too much information about these bosses because they are a little bit. Yeah, Niche, we do appreciate it. Your spreadsheets are awesome, brother. They're very well made, very aesthetic. I had no idea.
Awesome. This is the old one. I don't care that you use the BYO one, but
yeah, very, very nice.
I think another important thing to remember as well, obviously a lot of us have played on private servers. We're no longer dealing with NA and Euro welfare, no livers, so the general OCE populace is going to be a lot less skilled than what we've dealt with prior. So it's really easy to, collude and be active like this early and maintain dominance, We're not like the prems and stuff, you're not going to be dealing with people that are 18 hours up.
Exactly,
hours,
yes.
4 hours sleeping and then 18 hours up again, sort of thing.
Very well said. It's going to be a very different playing field. I think I had an analogy like we've all been like Aussie rules football players playing like European soccer, and they've all been like penalizing us for using our hands. Now everyone's going to be playing Aussie rules football. It's a lot different versus our own competition.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've heard a question here regarding title charm priority. Obviously, yeah, rogues don't benefit from it as much as other classes. I wouldn't be surprised if some rogues are just interested in having presence on the spawn. But I'm more than sure the people that recognize maximum efficiency from it, I think paladins, it's obviously best in slot for. They will more or less be trying to get up there in priority. And hunters as well. Huge hunter prior on.
I think if you plan to rank, regardless of your class, you should be going through it too. Especially like all our mages and tallies. Like,
it's a huge major item.